prepare your assignment 3, the source code assignment 3, because the assignment 4 will be duplicate. I mean, you will be copied from your assignment 3. So make a copy in advance, not to override everything of your assignment 3. So make a copy of assignment 3 first.清楚吗？就是说我们要从 assignment 3 copy 过来，所以copy the last assignments and rename the solution and project to assignment 4. Okay, I might use one of your guys' work to continue on. 我是找一个同学的 work， 我们把它添加上来。好，我找 C 吧。有没有个同学把人替你的 work 给老师用的？好，没有人把人替了，你的 work 让老师 cover。从你们的 assignment 开始。好吧 ，make sure 一个，我找一下我们的网管，好，我们演艺的网管，陈友君嘛，在哪里？在这边。好吧，万一电脑有什么问题找他啊，你的那个，待会举手一下。好，跟大家认识一下吧，我们 IE 的同学。假如说万一你将来 Mac 要绑那个网络，可能都要找他设定。Okay, so right now I have assignment 3 of 1 students, and I'll try to convert it into assignment 4. Well, as I mentioned before, because there are some certain kind of file try to manage the solution and the project, right? So initially, make sure you change it. Well, the folder name, okay, solution folder name, not leave assignment 3 here, left here. It will be confusing if you submit this assignment 3 solution to assignment 4. I might be confused anyway. So make sure you change the solution folder name first. It's okay. It's harmless. You can directly change it. So right now I have changed the solution name first to assignment 4, and then open your solution folder. As you can see, the solution file, management file, right? That solution, but the name is assignment 3. Okay, similarly, I will change the file name here. So basically, this solution manages everything, right? The solution file, knowing that there is a project specified within this path, this subfolder. So if I change this subfolder, then I need to do something, right, in this solution file. So again, this is a project file. So similarly, I like to name the project folder consistent with the assignment. So I change the project folder into assignment 4. Oops. But right now, once you click on the solution, it cannot find its original project, right? Because originally project is stored in the assignment 03, right? You can try it. It's okay, because later on we will change everything back. So once I click the solution file, right now the solution manager cannot locate the project file somehow, as you can see. So right now the solution file is saying that, well, I have a project, and then the solution, the Visual Studio will try to locate the file, the source file of that project. Okay, so our message came out. This solution has one or more projects are not correctly loaded. All right. Okay, you can. The only thing you can do is just accept that. Accept it. So as you can see, your project is not complete because the original definition is not correct. So the file cannot be found, right? All right, never mind. We just close the solution. Leave the Visual Studio there. And we need to do something. Okay, but not within the Visual Studio. Okay, so we know the message right here, I mean, within this solution management file is not correct. So how can you do that? Well, I probably just pop up Notebook or Notepad. It's okay because it's text file editor. So try to open a notebook and then drag the solution file because solution file actually is a textual file doing the lot of management stuff. So read the content. I mean, in the library, you will know what kind of information has been stored in this solution file. As you can see, Visual Studio 15, version 15, the tool generated this solution file. Project, see, we have a project, end of project. So project information is right here. As you can see, the project name is R, blah, 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 assignment 3, right? How about the path? Okay, blah, 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 assignment 3. Assignment 3. So you see, this is a project management file. This is the subfolders of the project management file. So the rest of them is okay. I mean, if you're interested in that, you can read it by yourself. But right now we know. Well, we try to change the name of the project. This is just the name, okay, into the 4. Whoops. That means you need to be careful. I mean, doing the editing right here. So I change this 3 into 4. English mode. And also the subfolder name, right, into 4. And also the C# project file name turn into 4. All right, something is okay. So I save it. So I can kind of change it to this one. But remember that, I mean, what you have changed is that, well, the project folder has been changed from assignment 3 into assignment 4, right? But how about project management file? So click on this, I mean, newly change the subfolder name right here. We need to change the file name too. File name right here. So project file change into 404. Okay, that's it. I think that will be all. I mean, for this moment. Well, if you are interested in the summary, you can open a notebook and drag in this project management file. Drag in, see what's going on. Is there any assignment trees? You can use Control F to find assignment because that is a kind of keyword, right, to distinguish the older project from us. Nothing can be found. So it's okay because everything has been specified relatively. Oh, okay, right here, root namespace. All right, leave it there. Okay, it's a namespace. I mean specification. All right, assembly name too. Well, you can change it right here, or later on I will show you how to do that. Assembly name meaning that this project will build an executable file. An executable file's name should be the same as your project name. So later I will show you how to change it. I mean, from Visual Studio, but we are not going to do any change right here in the text mode. Right. And the next one, it's just these two, right? So remember that one is the namespace. The other should be the assembly name that are always associated with the project name. Okay. So leave it. So right now it's about the time we reopen a new solution file here. So double click on this. Well, I can drag it to Visual Studio. Kind of open to file. So everything is back in track, right? So assignment 4, right now is assignment 4. So everything's rare is ready for you. All right, so we still have two parts needed to be updated, right? That is closely related to the property or the project itself. So either way, you can click on this project, right-click your mouse. There is a property command here. Or otherwise, you can navigate to this command. There's a project menu right here. Click on it. There is also a command. So we try to pop out the property pages for this project. We need to do some change anyway, right here. Okay, click on that. And as you can see, once Visual Studio compiles your source code, the executable name, the execution file, the execution.exe file, bear this name. So we call it assembly name. So by default, the executable file name, the name is the same as your project. So originally, our project is assignment 3, right? So it's about the time we change it right here, assignment 4. We let the Visual Studio change it for us, okay? And how about the default namespace? Default namespace right here, you see, it is always, it is still, again, associated with the project name or the original name, right? So change it into the assignment 4. So that means from now on, if you add any class to this project, the default namespace will be changed into this 04. Okay, so once I make a change, well, I don't see there is any save button. So simply move to another category and then let us go back. This thing should be updated. Okay, so it's okay. So close it. But again, there is still a certain kind of inconsistency, right? Because if you take a look at our classes, we have built up there. So click any one of them. As you can see, the original namespace has been the default one, right? But if I add a new class, for example, right now I click on my project, I add a new class. Because you have changed the property of the project, right? So if I have created a class1.cs, you see the namespace is a little bit different. It will be very troublesome. If your class 1 want to use the other class, you need to, because they belong to different namespaces, so you need to specify the namespace too. It's very troublesome. Okay, so how can we do that? So the older namespace should be changed, right? So remember that, do not change anything by yourself. You need to ask the Visual Studio to change the name for you. So click any one. Let me go back to the bare mail membership function. Highlight this name, namespace name. Right click, rename it. We will let Visual Studio name it for us. So right now you need to type the news. Well, the window is small, so okay. So once it's highlighted in green color, you can directly change right here. Change into the 4. From 3 change into 4, right? Okay. So then I applied it. Totally, there are 3 instances. Building with this namespace name. So the message is showing that simultaneously the 13 reference will be changing too. So applied it. So take a look at another class. What is that? As you can see right now, namespace has been changed. So up to this step, you have completely copied an older project or solution to a new one. Okay. So do this conversion on your own work. Do not copy others in this way. Okay. So make sure I teach you how to do that, but you should not. It's clone somebody's work to turn out to be yours. All right. You can just only upgrade your project from probably assignment 3 to assignment 4, then assignment 5, assignment 6, to make them individually exist. So later you can trace back the learning process. Okay. All right. So up to this point, is there any question? You can raise your hand. I will check your system if you have any problem. 有吗？有没有任何问题？好，就是这个是 那个 Visual Studio Management solution and the project management scheme mechanism. All right, so you can try to compare everything. So right now it's a brand new assignment 4, right? But the functionality still remain in as the same with the assignment 3. So today we are going to enhance a lot of stuff in our application. So okay, new universe, right? So universe parameter has been special. Well, it's good. I mean, in the category, Miss Chen has added title is related to title stuff. Okay, so I can easily change it. Probably our special age. Crash. Too bad. All right. So once you have problem, you need to go into this. Don't just close it. Okay. Read a little bit about this error message. Okay, object reference, which means that you kind of use an object which has not been initialized by the new operator. So move your cursor to this selection node. See, selection node is a noun. So initially, selection node is a noun. So we cannot do that. Okay, so universe array was 0. So you need to bypass this very beginning, I mean, this very early cases. So how can you do that again? Well, I don't know the logic. I mean, Miss Chen has placed here, but since there is an error, so I need to deal with that. So the easiest way is that once you know the selected node is not selected by the user, right? It's normal. So how can we avoid this exception? So very simple. If trv main, oops. Selected node none. Remember that if it is an object, then the initial value should be none. Okay, because it is not instantiated yet. No any node existing right in the current tree view. So then it simply return to bypass this exception. So new universe, then try. Or because I did not highlight this guy, okay, but I simply changed the name right here, A G E. Once I hit return, the name is not changed, right? Originally, she supposed that this guy has been selected, right? But it is not by default. So how can you do that? So once you create a new universe, you need to set this the newly created universe as the selected node. So how can you do that? So let us go back to the well, kind of spend extra time on this mechanism. So the problem came out from this logic. So once I create this, you see, once I create these universe objects and add a node, add to trigger node here, you can directly set it, I think. Selected node, can I directly set it? Selected node. If you see the message pop up by the intelligence saying that, well, this property has get set, right? Last time we talked about the property. So basically we try to access certain kind of data, but it has been encapsulated. But it is interfaced through this so-called property. So if you have set, that means you can set it too. So in this point, you need to set it to what? To this node, a node. So that will guarantee once you create a universe object, then it is highlighted. I mean, it is selected in the tree view. So new one. See, once you make this focus, see, it's highlighted. Then I can change the edges. Enter. Okay, it's correspondingly changed. All right, so kind of, and then once I specify, if I did not specify, this button will not be available, right? In order to do so-called foolproof triangular fuzzy set. New one. Okay. Again, because right now, as you can see, edge is still selected, so that is universe. So we added another 3, another 3, another 4, another 5. Okay, it's okay. So as you can see right now, I mean, for your logic, once the universe has been created, it means the low bound, upper bound has been special, right? So if I click on the fuzzy set, this is the property of fuzzy set. If I click back on the universe, but sometimes if a user like to extend it, for example, the user like to extend into 100, right? It's possible because it's public property, so user can change it. But again, right now your curve did not extend up to 100, right? So it's kind of not consistent so far. The reason is because fuzzy set object depend on object ages, and if ages change something, they need to let us know. The whole idea is similar to what? To the button. We extension the button, right? What do you want? If button is clicked by the user's mouse, we need to do something. So similarly, we need to design our class to generate a so-called event. And then fuzzy set will subscribe that event. What kind of event? Suppose if we add an event in the universe saying that, well, once property is changed, is legally changed, then the universe will pop out, will trigger an event for us to subscribe. And if you know, definitely you know that the fuzzy set depends on the universe, right? So if universe do have a parameter change, we need to do something. Fuzzy set, that's the responsibility of fuzzy set, not the universe, right? It's kind of object-oriented, architecture. You need to make sure your integrity is maintained. If you depend on some other guy, you need to subscribe the necessary event. Once the other guy do a certain kind of change, you need to do something accordingly. So that is the mechanism of object-oriented design. Later on, we will do that. But so far, think about our fuzzy set. The fuzzy set we can define right now is a primary fuzzy set, right? But if a fuzzy set has been operated by, for example, union or intersection, or even the negate operation, the result is still another fuzzy set, right? If two fuzzy sets union together, again, that unit stuff is still a fuzzy set. So right now we do not have another kind of fuzzy set that can deal with the result of operation. The operation might be a binary operation, for example, intersection or union, or probably a union operation. Union operation like what? Like a negate, right? And some other time we might have a constant, a factor, try to scale down fuzzy set. So that kind of situation is an operated fuzzy set. But the operated fuzzy set will depend on what? Depend on the primary fuzzy set. So you take a primary fuzzy set. For example, you take a triangular fuzzy set, and the proper user might specify a cut, for example, 0.6, and then you will have a cutted fuzzy set, cutted triangular fuzzy set generate. But right now, our class family cannot deal with that kind of operation result. All right, so we will extend our class family to incorporate such kind of operated fuzzy set. Alright, is there any question what am I talking about? 我们有交集有连集，那个是两个 fuzzy set 去 operate 出来。但是 again, that is still a fuzzy set, right? And also for the simplest one, we take a fuzzy set and add a negate operation on it. 我们要把它反向，对不对？那反向 again, 它还是一个新的 fuzzy set 啊。那我们现在的 fuzzy set cannot deal with such kind of thing, so we need to extend our class family to incorporate such kind of operated fuzzy set. That is today's mission. That means that is the mission of assignment 4. Okay, okay. 好 ，so far 有没有任何问题？好 ，so again we have used object-oriented to design our fuzzy set family, but right now we need to extend the capability more than currently we have. Okay, analyze their structure of the one-dimensional fuzzy set and fuzzy sets that are resulted from various operations. For example, unary binary operation. If you can remember T norm, S norm, those kind of operate on what? On two fuzzy sets, right? So T norm, S norm, basically they are binary operator. 它们是二元的运算子。Operate on what? Operate on both, operate on pairs of fuzzy set. 它们是作用在，就像 A 加 B 一样啊。Okay, so all right, exercise object techniques to design related C# classes for those fuzzy sets that are generated from various operations. The binary operator, including the traditional binary operator, traditional intersection, union, subtraction, right? Unary operator, including negate, value cut, value scale operator, and a linguistic hedged operator, such as value. As you can see, in the slide, we like to let the user specify its own file set based on a primary file set value, right? Very old, young, very young, more or less young. It's a dilation operator. Intrinsically, it's a dilation operator. And we also have this kind of formula, right? Especially in the video slide. Okay, extremely old, extremely young, anything like that. In this intensification diminisher, such kind of operator, they are all unary operator. So basically, the resulted file set came from either unary operation or binary operation. So we need to deal with this kind of generated file set. In addition, the file set may be generated from the standard T-norm S-norm. So we know T-norm S-norm, well, there are 4 kinds of T-norm S-norm, right? So basically, that is a general T-norm operator, general T-norm operator, general S-norm operator. Both of them are so-called binary operation, okay? So depending on the file set, moreover, parameterize and negation. Remember that even though that's the operator, that operator might carry another parameter. For a general operator. 这些运算子可能本身还带参数，有些学者开发了一些运算子，像 negate 有些学者这个 negate 还需要 special 一个参数值的，所以那个 operator is parameterized operator, which is similar to the parameter file set. So if you like to create a complete means families of operator, you need to consider that in order to accommodate the academic definition of all kind of operate. So for constructing an operated file set, the operator must be specified first. Okay, so we will use object-oriented design to instantiate an object or the operator first. Then we use that object, operate on another existing object or file set. Let a new generalized operator file set will be generated. We kind of perform such kind of mechanism, okay, for our system. For constructing an operator file set, the operator must be special first. And then therefore, you need to define a family of classes for those operators. So today we will build up, probably a unary operator class, a family of binary operator class, like that. For example, define classes of a unary. Okay, so we will have class unary file set operator, and also a binary file set operator. I'm not going to cover everything, but you need to do it by yourself. After, probably I will show you how to design a unary file set operator first. Okay. And then for the binary, you need to do it by your own. Try to build up your object-oriented design capability anyway. Notice that an enhanced operator might have parameter special. So remember that I'm not going to cover that issue. Later on, you should extend your operator class to accommodate this kind of situation, which means that an operator might carry another parameters anyway. Example operator proposed by the scholar and the expert. We can see from the textbooks. They are an over slide. The operator do have another parameter special anyway. Okay, it is suggested to create a class family for unary and binary operator first, which are similar to the file set class family. Then use unary operator file set, and the binary operator file set will be defined. Well, this time we will use the derivation technology or object-oriented design. So we will create a new class called probably unary operator file set, inherit from the generic file set class we create in the last assignment anyway. Okay, so basically this will be derived class. Okay, within this class, reference to the original file set. See, resulting file set will depend on what? On the operator, and also depend on the primary, on the targeted file set, right? Because it is generated from that Fuzzy set. So once the once the original fuzzy set, the parameter or original fuzzy set changed, then the derived fuzzy set should be changed accordingly. So similarly, today, if the time is enough, we will talk about the event specification and also the subscription tool in our familiar class anyway. Okay, since fuzzy set might be referenced by another fuzzy set, event of parameter change should be defined in the fuzzy set class. So we will kind of expand our capability of our fuzzy set class. So in your main phone class, prepare UI for the user to select, create a fuzzy set, and unary over the buffer operator to create, derive fuzzy set. In addition, exercise using tree view control to host reference to universe and associate fuzzy set hierarchically. Okay. So the last instruction later we will go through with that. If we have time in the class. Well, for those operation, basically you can use features of programming language. For most programming languages, you can override the operator to do your own operation. For example, plus, multiplication, this kind of symbol can be redefined for your new classes. 我们讲就是说那个重复使用一些符号了，譬如说 we prefer fuzzy set A plus fuzzy set B might represent a union operation, right? So we will redefine the this plus operator in our universe world, in our fuzzy set world anyway. So user can override the default operator to serve your new class. So ultimately, we will cover this topic later on. So once we complete our class or operator and derived fuzzy set anyway. 好，这是一个 overview 哈。Okay, so assignment 4 is a big jump anyway. Somehow, as you have learned, assignment 3 is a little bit jump for you because we kind of start using object to design our families of fuzzy set. But right now, we try to exercise the beauty. So we're using object-oriented techniques to expand our capability. It's easy anyway. So by using the so-called inheritance or virtual and override function, such kind of polymorphism scheme techniques. Okay. 好，可以吗？好。Okay, so let us deal with the unary operator first. Unary operator. So similarly, we like to build up a family. So later on, a user can add their unary operator easily. Okay. All right. So let us start from the operator first. So the operator name, we can follow the instruction, which is meaningful anyway. Unary fuzzy set operator. Okay. So back to our projects. All right, I'd like to change this class 1. UNAR, unary fuzzy set operate. Right? Okay, excuse me. All right, so I kind of changed the file name, but we just did change the class name for us too. All right, so it is unary fuzzy set operator. For in general, if you like, you can add parameters value here. Okay, in case the later on a guy might generate unary operator somehow inherit from this operator. So by that time, the parameter data is ready, which is similar to the fuzzy set, generic fuzzy set class. Okay, but right now I'm not going to do that. But think about the operation. What is the mission of an operator? For example, unary operator. Basically, unary operator. For example, if it's a negate, well, if I give you a value of the original or the original fuzzy set, then you can get the original value, right? But right now for a negate operator, it try to change the value from original value into 1 minus the value, right? So that is the mission of a unit operator. So how can we do that? We were showing, well, for a unary operator, we need to calculate. Well, we can name it calculate value. Or probably we stick it with okay. So let me sometimes okay. Let us prepare the skeleton first. Probably it's virtual. It's virtualization. Evaluate, calculate. Okay, probably just calculate value, calculate degree, calculate value. Okay. Since it's the unit operator, so calculate value anyway. We have a get function value, right, in the fuzzy set, so calculate a value, it's okay. So since it's in a unity operator, so what this function needs is just a double value. It's a unity operator. So because it's virtual, right? So by default, we do not do anything. We do not do okay. Excuse me. This function will return a double value. So function name, virtual function name, is called calculate value. Once you supply a value x, then it will return a calculated value. Okay. All right. Okay. And then we will readily can add a derived class. So let us implement what? Again, add new class. But because we have a bunch of unity operator specified, right? For example, value, diminisher, well, it's okay. I mean, we can still stick on this kind of structure. I mean, each class will have a file associated with it. It's okay. So I call it negate operator, negate, O-P-E-R-A-T-O-R. So the class name is clear, it's an operate. Negate operator, right? So up to this point, it's an independent class. So right now, I inherit from the newly created unary, U-N-A-R-Y, unary operator for this set. Okay, so right now, negate operate inherit from the unary for this operate. And usually, if you create or define a derived class, you need to override something specified in the upper class. So if you type an override, override, once you type this, if IntelliSense has highlighted this override secret code for you, you can just hit the hit the blank space. If you 按一个空格键哈 backspace, then the IntelliSense will list out the available virtual function which can be override right here in the derived class. So here we will override calculated double right here. So if you are the object of this negate operator, once you receive a value, what kind of value you should return it? You should calculate and return it. That's very simple, right? 1.0 minus x. It's very return that. So it's very straightforward. I mean, the mission for an operator will the coder give you a name. If you are a negator, right? If you are a negator, you simply will return this value back to the coder. That is the mission of an operator. For example, if you have plus, if you define a plus operator, and then you will receive two values, right? You receive two values. And what is the mission of a plus operator? You simply return the sum of them, right? For negate, it's pretty simple. I just return here. And how about value? Value operate. If you go back to the slide, value is what? Square, right? Times square. So here I can again add another class. Either way, you can use value operator or concentration. Sure, the concentration, right? VERY, vary, OPER, ATOR, vary operate. So add another vary operator, again, similar. It will inherit from where? From the UNARY, unary operator set. So right now I have two unary operator can be used somehow. Okay, fine. All right, so override again. If I type override here and hit the space key, and I choose character override, and I hit tab key, we just will prepare this skeleton for me. So how about the value concentration? If you receive a value, and if you are a value operator, what kind of value you should return? X times X, right? So you can define a bunch of unary operator. You need to go through with the slide in the textbook. So let the user, choose what kind of operator they are. So since right now I have a unary operator, back in our user interface, our main form. So let us think what kind of usage scenario we will have. So add a new file set, right? And then it's a tree view. So if a user specify a target tree view and select an operator, unary operator, we will generate a new file set, right? So let me slightly change a little bit about this guy. All right. So similarly. This is the primary file set, right? Primary 原型嘛, huh? So I kind of lazy, so well, I had better not do that. Otherwise, I'll copy everything. So I use a combo box. Again, drag a combo box. So you need to put a label after to guide your user. Okay. So unary operator right here, and also I have button. And you need to do the full proof. So once a guy click on the file set, then user will select the unary operator. Then hit this button. So a new derived file set will be created somehow. This is the scenario we have. So let me go back to this combo box. Change the name CBX. That should be UNARY, unary OPERATORS. So you will list out the available operator for the user, especially in the items right here. So you need to know the order. Okay, the first one is negate. N-E-G-A-T, negate. How about the second one? The second one, vary. Concentration. Right? Concentration. It's a formal name, but vocally, we will use vary. So how about this button? BTN create unary OPERATED file set. New UNARY unary OPERATED. Okay, it's kind of lengthy, but it is meaningful for a user. So knowing that, you need to deal with the enability of this button. This button only enabled once a user click a file set, because that should be the target file set. And then user to select an operator anyway. Okay, so far we did not do anything yet, but make sure everything is compiled. Okay, so suppose right now user has specified universe and then click on universe, then new file set. Oops, excuse me, I need to specify. So you should have better default selection. Okay, default selection here, also default selection here, in order to not let the user have this kind of error message came out anyway. So triangular, new file set. So this button will not be enabled once user click on the universe. Only the user special at target fuzzy set, select and negate, right? So user select fuzzy set, select and operate, then hit this button. Well, a new negate triangle fuzzy set will be generated, and also shown up right here. So that is the whole user interface idea we would like to have. So user can specify primary fuzzy set from here, and specify a derived or call it operated fuzzy set from this set of user interface. That is the idea we would like to have. Okay, so right now it's not completed yet, right? But so far we have prepared two operators for us to use. So let us go back to the fuzzy set classes. So take a look at this instruction. All right, for constructing operator fuzzy set, the operator must be specified. Therefore, you need to define a family of class for those operators. Okay, operator is ready. How about the fuzzy set? It is suggested to create class families for unary and binary operator first, and which are similar to, okay, fine. The classes unary operated fuzzy set. Okay, we'll try to do that. All right, so back to our project. Right now, we try to incorporate the possibility of operated fuzzy set anyway. So far, our fuzzy set classes are purely designed for primary fuzzy set, okay? All right, so click on project. You will add new class. This time, we call UNARY, unary operated operated fuzzy set, right? So we have a unary operation. How about the inheritance? Well, it's simply inherit from what? From fuzzy set. So right now, curly line came out because what? Because this fuzzy set has a constructor needed to be specified, right? And also have a operating function needed to be done. But think about a general fuzzy set which is operated from unary operator. What kind of data needed in this unary operated fuzzy set? The target fuzzy set, right? Because this is the operated fuzzy set. It would depend on another fuzzy set. And those fuzzy sets usually should be a primary fuzzy set, but it is not guaranteed. Probably another fuzzy set is again a derived fuzzy operated fuzzy set. So it's okay. Does not matter, because since it's a family of fuzzy set classes, so we simply focus on the top labels. So we're saying that, well, fuzzy set, we need a fuzzy set target or TARG target. Target fuzzy set. And also we need what? We need to have a unary, because it's a unary operated fuzzy set, right? So we will need another what? UNARY operate. OPER. You cannot use this keyword. Operator is a key OPER ATOR. No, it's a keyword reserved by the C# programming language. OK, operator 不能当成变数名称哈，因为这个 operator 是一个 keyword. So we will call the operator. Never mind, I will call it the fuzzy set. So these two guys are the primary object of a unary operator fuzzy set, right? So unary operator fuzzy set will be resulted from, well, user giving you the fuzzy set. Then you apply this operation on this fuzzy set, generate a resulting unary operator fuzzy set. That is the whole idea. Okay. All right. So probably we should stop, take a short break, to let you catch up for somehow. 我们休息一下再回来好了哈，因为看有些同学差不多了哈，思考一下。所以我们会有这些 family 要产生，都透过物件导向方式，我们开始 inherit 从这个已经我们写的这些 family。当然，另外我们要再加一些东西哈。OK， 我们 take a break 再回来好了。 So let us go back to our fuzzy set definition first. So how can you navigate back? Okay, once you click on probably class name or object name, right click on your mouse button. There are two kind of command. It is the first one should be check the definition. So once you click on the check, then a window just pop up, let you see what kind of definition of this fuzzy set. So you can see there's a window came out. Once you close it, it's okay. If you want to make some modification of this fuzzy set, you can click on your right mouse and then move to definition. Move to definition. So it will pop up the CS file of this fuzzy set. So for this set, we know that we will have what? We will have constructor, right? We know for any fuzzy set, we need to specify the universe, okay? And then what kind of universe? So how about universe? We have a property title, right? The title is ready. Get members function of this series. So we do not have a universe, right? We do not have the universe. You just have a title for this set. So all it needs is the universe. But a fuzzy set should have okay. So we kind of try to update a little bit about the property we have in our fuzzy set. So fuzzy set, right? We know it should be defined on a universe. So the object name is protected, right? It's an encapsulate in fuzzy set. But sometimes, for example, right now we have derived fuzzy set, right? We need to know the universe. We need to know the universe. So universe should be accessed by other classes somehow, right? So I like to add a new property, but this property is read only. We're not going to let the user alter it, change it. So be as public universe. Now I will use capitalized there. UNIVER as the universe. So it's a property, popular property. And I simply provide getter, so we return the universe, the object. That's it. So right now, you can access the universe of this fuzzy set through this property. Okay, so this property. So let us go back to the constructor. So we need the constructor. The constructor need a universe, right? So your bare membership function, right? The constructor of your bare member function. As we can see here, we kind of ask the user supply object reference to the universe, right? And then we pass into the parent, That means that this is a constructor for the bare membership function for bare fuzzy set. And for the bare membership set, does not have any data specified, right? So it simply asks the user to supply this universe reference and then pass it to this the constructor of the parent class. The whole idea is that for a bare fuzzy set object, it do contain the data which has been defined in the upper class. The bare members one do have the random generator, do have parameter value, right? So this data has been specified in the parent class, and the constructor of the parent class deal with the initialization of those data, right? So right now the derived class need to pass the required parameter for the parent class to deal with the initialization by the parent class and by the constructor of the parent class. And for those data declared in the child class, they need the child class needed to deal with that by themselves. So here is our scenario right now. We have two data required by this constructor, right? Unary operator for this. So these two objects should be supplied by the user. Anyway, if the user want to create a unary operator for this. So right now we are about to create constructor. So we can type CTOR. double hit the tab key twice. Anyway, hit it twice. So you kind of special. Oh, okay. For a unary operator fuzzy set, we need to know fuzzy set. So call it FS. Then unary operator. We call it OP. So it kind of break this line for you to see it clearly. So how about, because you inherit from the fuzzy set, right? And fuzzy set need to know what? As you can see, fuzzy set, let's go back to the definition. The generic class, just like the your so-called bare fuzzy set, you need to prepare a universe for that, right? The universe is originally selected, the interface by the user. So we have that reference, it's okay. But right now, since it's a derived class, user click on what? So remember that once you hit the new fuzzy set, it's simply because user highlight and universe, right? But right now for the unary operator fuzzy set, user highlight and fuzzy set, select and operate, want to create a unary operator fuzzy set. So universe is not highlighted and or supplied by the user interface at all. Okay, but once you get the fuzzy set, you can access its property, right? It's the unit's property. So right now we try to invoke the constructor or the parent class base. And the base need what? Need a reference to a universe. What is the universe right now? Well, what I have just done, I mean, the fuzzy set, because once the fuzzy set is instantiated, the universe is already there. So we can access the universe through this property. So back to our universe, it's very simple, right? So base, the constructor or the parent class needed a fuzzy set. So where is the fuzzy set? Well, it's simple right here. The universe. We pass. See, we get a fuzzy set reference, object reference from the user in order to create a unary operator fuzzy set. All right, and then we user also prepare an operator. Then I simply use the fuzzy set's universe to let the base to let the parent class initialize their data. Okay, so that is the constructor or this unary operator fuzzy set. So once I get a FS, I need to assign it back to the fuzzy set. So the fuzzy set assigned with the FS, user supplied fuzzy set. And how about the operator? OP. Okay, so that is the generic constructor for a unary operated fuzzy set. Again, it's a fuzzy set, right? It's a fuzzy set. So we still need to override something in order to, for example, if you want to show the line curves for an unary operated fuzzy set, you need to prepare that, right? So override. Remember that unary operator fuzzy is still a fuzzy set, which is similar to your triangular fuzzy set, right? You need to override something in order to generate the point. Okay, so override. Excuse me. Press space. Get membership value. Okay, this is the Miss Chen special. Okay, she has her own function name. Originally, I get a copyright get membership value. I don't know anyway, but this function is designed by Miss Chen. So I just follow it. So I override get membership value. So get membership value will be used to initialize to update the series point, right? So what is the value right now? It is usually operator fuzzy set. So right now, if a guy asks you to draw, for example, negate fuzzy set, how can you do that? I mean, so right now I'm a unary operator fuzzy set, right? So I will return my membership. I do not have a closed form membership function, right? But how can I do it? Well, I simply ask the target fuzzy set, the fuzzy set. Right? Get membership degree, get membership value. Once I get it, once I get this, that is the primary or original file set, right? So right now I get a membership degree from the target file set, and then I ask this operator calculate. If this operator is negated, it will return negate value back to me. If this operator is a value, concentration value, it will return x double square back to me. And I will simply just return this value to the caller. Okay, so once I read it, I will ask the operator calculate value. So this idea is kind of tricky anyway, but it's not tricky because in fact the value should be calculated in this way. So I return this value back to the caller to complete this functionality of this fuzzy set. So remember that unary operator fuzzy set is a fuzzy set. Every fuzzy set should provide override function called get membership value. Anyway, 你有你自己的 function 你这个是那个陈同学他的 function， 所以你自己要 invoke 你那个 override 那个 function。可是如果说老师早以前叫 get就不太记得get function value 还是什么 get function value 大概是这个意思就是 membership function value。好，那个 constructor is not complete yet so let us take a look. A function is similar to, for example, bare member function, right? The name is not okay. Bare membership function. 它是一个 function, right? No, 它是一个 fuzzy set. Name 我讲 class 那个我觉得你的 class 那叫 bare membership function， 它是一个 function， 它不是一个 fuzzy set. So naming wise, OK， 老师在这边看了就不舒服OK， 老师就直接改那 if you want to change something, remember that ask which should do that for you. I don't like this naming or this class because in fact it is a fuzzy set. So bare fuzzy set. It's not very good, but I know it's a fuzzy set. Bare is a bare function fuzzy set anyway. So I cannot change this name anyway. So take a look at this constructor. Once for a general for a primary fuzzy set, so use the supplier universe, then kind of initialize parameter. But right now I do not have I do inherit. So for currently unary operator fuzzy set do inherit this parameter value, but it will not instantiate any double value there because it does not have any parameter anyway. How about the name? The series name. Interesting. The series name. Okay, the theories. Bare function. Okay. Well, I kind of copied. Well, I don't need to copy. How about the name? Do you have a title? No. Show center. Title. Okay, bare function. It's a bare function, okay. Bare function does not have a title. So title special in the fuzzy set. Title right here. So you do not have a counter. Alright, so title has been special up there, public. Okay, it's about the time I introduce you again. So right now we have, okay, let us go back to our fuzzy set class. Here we do have a public property showing the title, right? The series title. Okay, so in your design, you probably will be a little bit different with Miss Chance. Okay, Chance just use the series name because that is the only way. Oh yeah, it's all good. I mean, it's good. Title, return the series name. All right, so the series name will be enough. Okay, the series name. Fine, the series name. Okay. So let us go back to here. So I need to do similarly. I will use what? The series name. Or especially a title anyway. And the title, well, you need to do special title, right? I do have an FS title, right? But I prefer, my operator do have also have a title associated with that. So we will go back later on will make that series name, I mean, much more meaningful anyway. After everything has been specified, and I will show call update series. Okay, so for any unary operator file set, I will do it. I will do this kind of tab. But right now the operator is still missing, so it's not. I mean, the naming wise is not so good at all. But later on we'll go back to deal with that. So far I have a unary operator file set ready for the user. Okay. Fine. So we can try it anyway of this series. Let us go back to the build function to see what get members function, constructor, center, because it's property, right? Okay. All right. So let us go back to what our main form. So we have a constructor there. So we can implement this button right now. What is this? Is it a chart? Let me move this up a little bit. Okay, this is a chart, right? Okay, double click. Let me subscribe as a quick event. So suppose, ideally, user click a file set, and then select and operate. Okay, let me show you how to initially set the first item. Selected anyway. So we have a CBX, another CBX. So let us go back to the constructor right here, the main function constructor here. After everything has been initialized and with the user, we can do, well, we will say CBX file set type, right? Set type selection. The most important property is selected index. Set into the 0. I mean the first. Anyway, the zeros. CBX operate. Unary operate. Selected index. Programmably, you just select the first one. So don't let it use. Blindly click a wrong selection anyway. You do have an initial solution. So ideally is that, is the user have, you see the triangular function has been selected and the negate operator has been selected. So new universe right now, and the user like to change the property, it's okay, age. Enter. And then Gaussian property, or Bell file set. So based on this universe, user create Bell function there. All right, it came out. So right now, for our unary operator file set, user suppose should be click, oops, get the universe. Exceptional type. 为什么它是 none？ 我们加了一个 the universe right？ Operate the universe。为什么它会？好，那可能是没有办法 display 哈。那个我看一下啊，再试一次看看。Universe new file set select a file set crash stack over exception of type overflow stack overflow so 可能它没有办法修在 property grid 哈，就是那个 by default 那个 universe 它是一个 developer class， 不，它是那个一个成员或一个 member。So never mind, maybe I simply another so-called attribute called browsable, B-R-O-W-S, browsable. Turn it to be false. So I'm not going to show the this property on the property grid anyway. So let me see if it's okay or not. Universe. So this is universe new fuzzy set. Click on the fuzzy set. Okay. The exception is happening once I select fuzzy set, right? The property available variable will show up right here, but somehow universe has been I don't know exactly what's the reason. There's certain kind of difficulty in showing up the universe object right here. Okay, so that is there, but does not matter. So right now in this design, the universe is still a public universe. You can access it programmably, but it will not show up on the property grid because it's just read only anyway. So only editable parameter should be show up in the property grid. So because this is just for the grid, so it's okay. All right, so let me continue with this scenario. So we have the universe specified. Click on this new fuzzy set. Well, let me choose another Bell function. Add another Bell function. So right now I can select either triangle or Bell function, right? And if I select the Bell function and then I choose a negate or value operator, and I hit the key, I will have another fuzzy set generated, which is a negate. For example, negate fuzzy set of Bell. That is the purpose I like to have. So it's about the time we implemented this event. So right now, double click it, events right here. So remember that you user has specified the fuzzy set, right? So first we need to get the fuzzy set. Selected FS. And how about the operator? Well, operator depends on the combo box selection, right? So let me, where is the selected fuzzy set? It came from a tree view, right? TRV main. Selected node. That tag, right? Remember that we take advantage of using this property to store the reference of the object. But the tag, the data type property is the upper class called object. You need to cast it. We know. Right now the tag is in fact an object of the fuzzy set. So probably you might wonder, well, the selected tag is actually a Bell fuzzy set. Why you cast it into a fuzzy set? That is the beauty of object-oriented design. Okay, every derived object can be regarded as a reference to the upper class. 子类别的物件可以看成父类别，这是物件导向最重要的一个概念。我们统一在那个we dealing with these objects which might be derived from different kind of derived class, but they can be referred as the parent class. 它们可以看成父类别，为什么？记得一件事，青出于蓝而胜于蓝。子类别比父类别更伟大 ，data 更多 ，function 更多。那你把子类别看成父类别，那父类别只有一些能力、一些 data 而已，所以是安全的。子类别的 object or derived class can be regarded as a reference or the upper class or the parent class。它的物件导向的概念是这样，所以我们统一在那个 fuzzy set 跟那个 operator 高来高去，不用担心，因为我们把子物件这个 actually so right now I mean for example right now the fuzzy set is actually a Bell fuzzy set, right? But it does not matter. We simply cast that as the upper class's reference. 我们都把它看成 fuzzy set. It's okay. And then we need to switch, right? We need to check what kind of unit operator has been selected. So CBX, that should be the unity operator. CBX operator, unity operator, right? Select the index. Case 0 negate, right? Negate, break. So you need to always end up with a break statement. 1 should be the concentration or value, anyway. Break. So if it is negate, okay, similarly, you can do what? All right, so I will have a unary, because we know unary operator, OP. Oh, okay, OP is not. Okay, ready there. So if it is a negate, then it's about the time. See that OP is special as a reference to the upper class unary fuzzy set operator. But right now, you need to instantiate what? Specific unary operator. So right now, I use a new negate. Negate operator. And that we did not specify any constructor, right? So if you do not provide any constructor, then definitely there is a so-called default constructor prepared by C# programming language for you. So you do not need to specify any parameter. So right now I have an OP ready. I have OP ready. I have a selected fuzzy set ready. Then I can what? I can instantiate the new fuzzy set, right? So fuzzy set. Call it created fuzzy set. What kind of classification? New unary operated fuzzy set. Unary operated fuzzy set, right? You just designed it, and then you ask the user to supply what? Fuzzy set, right? Fuzzy set has been specified by the user, right? User select a fuzzy set. So that serves as the target fuzzy set. So selected fuzzy set. And how about the operator? Okay, right now I have an OP ready there. So kind of extension, well, the error permission came out because you did not specify the initial value. And since OP is an object, so we kind of initialize it into a none. Okay. Okay, so remember that in your user interface, once you create a fuzzy set, you need to put it in the tribute, right? So let's go back to my well, right here. How about this button, new fuzzy set button? See, this is the primary fuzzy set instantiation right here. So, and then try node. Okay. Expand out. Oh, okay. I just copy everything. This place is that you create a primary fuzzy set, right? But right now, I kind of create a derived fuzzy set. So the similar operation should be done right here. So I call it create a fuzzy set. And Mr. Chen do use a so-called try-catch statement. If you are not familiar with that, means that if these 3 lines to generate any exception, the code will not terminate. Simply go to here, show a pop-up and error message for you anyway. Oh, if you are sure about what you have done, you can just remove that. Okay, make it clear. So I have created a new object, right? Created fuzzy set. So I prepare a node on the tree view, right? New tree view. Okay, new tree view. Target fuzzy set title. Put the not target fuzzy set. Okay, so I have created fuzzy set. So I need to change the dimension. I need a tree node. Use the newly created fuzzy set, and then store the reference into this node, and then add the node. Okay, so right now you need to think a little bit about the philosophy, because right now user has selected what? Right now user has selected a fuzzy set, right? So you should add the node in the same label as the current selection. Okay. All right, so tribute selected node, the node, which means that this code has been used in the create parameter fuzzy set, right? But by that time, user has specified the selected node is actually a universe. So we are not going to add this node to the parent. Instead, the current selected node is what we need to go through the parent. Parent means that the universe, the parent and the child. So actually, right now, the created fuzzy set is a sibling. To the selected fs. Created fs is a sibling. 它兄弟姐妹是在 selected 这同柜界面。So we need to navigate from the selected node up to the parent, and then the child node list add this guy. 它有点稍微不同啊。那 tribute expand everything. It's okay. So let us go through this step by step to do the basic debugging. OK， 好，我们试试看哈。All right, so we have a new universe. We have a bell function anyway. Bell, what is it? Created. Right now, you select bell. What is it? So this is a selected neuron, right? Right. So and then I have create. I have a negate, or I might use value concentration. I have done that, right? Okay, so click on this unary operator party set. When you are in debug mode, you need to learn the debugging base. So usually we would like to check the so-called local variable, right? So some of them, for example, sender and E are passed through this event handling function. So if I say right now, because it's a reference type, so it's none. Operator is again none. Create is none. And node is none. So these are the local variable. So let us execute this line. So we get the tag, cast it, put it into the selected party set. Okay, so moving your cursor to the selected party set, you can unfold the content of the party set. Okay, again, similarly, that is related to the universe anyway. It's okay. Crash. 我把它当掉，我看一下 new universe， bell function， 你开始 set， click on it， value， 你开始 set， so go through it， operate， anyway， alright， so， OK， 我就没 special， 对不起，挂了，因为我现在选的是 value。Okay, again, similar OP equal what? New, value, right? Value operate. New universe, bell function. New file set. Click on bell function. So only a user click on file set, and then this button is enabled. Value. Line by line execution. Okay, so select file set is ready. Operate is ready. Select file set is ready. Oh no, up to this point. Okay, operator. So operator is ready. Select file set is ready. And then I try to instantiate. So 那个为什么要每次要评估？知道大概就这边要秀那个它的 universe 出来，说 universe somehow 是问题了，没有办法知道它原因。好，那我们就不 break 啊，我们直接执行看看好了哈。这个问题有点怪异哈。Bell， new file set bell function set the value， 我们还是设个 breakpoint somewhere 哈，看一下。我们或许不要秀这个区域变数号，我们不把它 highlight， 它就不会执行那个 pop out。那应该是这样就 OK。那我们来到这个 statement。OK， 好，那 select bell file set click on this button value. So move continue. So up to this point, we try to instead. 启用属性评估其他其他程式。工具哈，我找一下哈。它现在就在 debug 里头 by default 有一些那个功能被启用哈。好，我们还是要把它解决问题。OK， 所以 tool。跟大写小写有关吗？ 哪个东西？类别吗？还是什么 ？OK， 慢慢来哈。What is set 哪个地方？哦 ，OK， 难怪就反复，它变成 recursive。对不起啊，那个 mistake good。它的 object name 是 lower cases，right？ 好，那对了，难怪这个原因哈。那这边是那个 property 我把它变大写，那是我们一般的 convention 哈。The convention we kind of using is that the data is lowercase started, and then the property we kind of let it special with the capitalized. So right now I need to return. 很好，说哈 the universe。OK， 这样才正确哈。这是 data， 这是 real data field，but this is the property name. OK， alright, great. We should not have any problem anymore. 好，谢谢这个，我觉得。Alright, new universe. Okay, select it. Suppose I choose Bell file set. So we have Bell file set. Select this guy. Select vary. Create a new operator file set. Okay, so we came to this line. So let us enter this right-hand side step by step. So we kind of instantiate an object unary operator file set, and we have prepared this selected file set and also operator. So if I hit F11 key, come to here. 我们按了 F11 键逐步来。So we are about to invoke the constructor of derived class or child class, but we need to invoke the constructor of the parent class first. So as you can see, the parent means the child, the child class do prepare this target file set and operator is ready. But right now, we need to invoke the constructor of the parent class in order to instantiate the data we inherit from the parent. 好，那这时候呢 ，fs 你可以送出这个的 universe. So I hit the F11 key again. So we came to the parent class. We try to do all kinds of initialization and the constructor right here. So right now U is what? Is the universe or the Bayes function defined. So it's okay. It's okay. It's correct. So right now, parent constructor initialize the data defined in the parent class. New series, child type, add file set. Okay, everything is okay. And then execute this line, name series added to the child. Okay, complete with the construct of the parent class. Then it's about the time to execute the initialization statement of the child class. So after the constructor of the base class is completed. So right now it's about the time we initialize the data specifically defined in the derived class. Okay, so the file set fs operate sign. How about the name? Here. Okay, series add to problem. The series name, I cannot use the same name. Okay, this bug came from the Microsoft chart. Microsoft chart has a collection of series, right? And each series should have a name. If you create a series automatically, the name has been automatically changed. But right now, what? Because in the originally we have called Bell FS1, right? Bell FS2, Bell FS3. But right now you have derived class, file set class will be about to generate, right? But how about the series? A new series will be added to the chart. But the name, because I simply use the file set's name, file set's title, it contradicts with the rule or the chart control. So it is not allowed. So I need to do some modification right here. Okay, this is about the time I remedy this problem. Okay, so remember that the operate have different kind of name, right? So let us go back to the operate. The names or the derived, I like to use both of them. I like to use the operator title and the function title to aggregate them to serve as the title of this newly created function, and that's the whole idea. So I will go back to the unary operate. Unary file set operate. Come here. I kind of see this is the button. Kind of declare a public property string, and call it title. title. Okay, and I provide a get I'm not going to let it set. I simply return nothing. It's pretty peculiar, right? Return nothing. Okay, this is what you have learned. You kind of specify a property or class, but this semicolon, excuse me, make it a complete statement. So the property is usually super public, and also if it is allowed the user to modify, you will have a setter, part of setter. But right now, simply provide a get. That means it's read only. But this time, let me do this way. I declare this property as virtual. Well, why not? Because intrinsically, the property actually is a setter function, a getter function, right? So it can be override by the derived class. So in the unary operator, what I said, the title, well, did not return because eventually we will instantiate a real, an object of the derived class, right? For example, negate or concentration or value, right? So I declare this title is a virtual property. So let us go back to our vary operator right here. Again, I type the secret code override. Hit the space key. See, right now title is overridable. Okay, so I hit I select the title and hit tab key twice. Oh, okay, we just still prepare this one for you. All right, so it's a new format anyway for the title. So what it's really need to do is that I will return get return. I try to override the title. Okay, title is originally inherited from the parent class, but right now I try to override it. I call it a value, V-E-R-Y, value. Right? Value. Anyway, just that's it. And how about negate? You need to do that by yourself, okay, to make it complete. So let us back to the unary operated fuzzy set. Unary operated set. Similarly, we like to have what? We have a running number. Otherwise, the name should be the same, and then chart component will compare, right? So again, static protected. That derived class can directly use the PLTCTD protected. Static int counter equal 1. Unary operator fuzzy set. Okay, so the problem is come here, right? So I kind of aggregate. Well, this is the fuzzy set, right? But right now I'm an operator. The operator. Well, I have better because fs has been assigned to the fuzzy set, so I have better use the assigned name. The fuzzy set title, the operator. Operate have a title, right? And kind of aggregate these two titles together, and also a running number counter. There's always a function called toString, no matter whether it is a variable constant or not. But after this toString has been done, I kind of add up this counter by 1. Okay, I kind of use a short expression way to do this test for me. So last time we have exception right here, right? So this time I set a breakpoint right here. Then let us try our code again. New universe layer function, new fuzzy set. Select this fuzzy set and select vary, new unary operator fuzzy set. Click on it. All right, continue up to this line. All right, this is a trick. I mean, not a trick. I mean, it's a new functionality, or we just still 2017. Okay, so you see, once you move to a new, up to currently the CPU try to execute this line. It's not executed yet. But if you move to another, I mean, the low statement, you see there is a green error key. Once you click it, that means you ask the CPU to execute up to this line. It is not a breakpoint at all, but it will be freely, ask the execution to a certain kind of line for your reference anyway. 它是比较方便，可以这样做哈。Okay, never mind. We just line by line execute it at 10 key. All right, see, because we have breakpoint right here, right? So break here. So run on FS. FS is ready. OP is ready. How about the title of what it said? You see, Bell FS1, right? Bell FS1. How about the operator title? Value. So I kind of add up a value and the Bell FS1 together, and then I also use a counter. Update the count is 1. So once this line executed, check the name, the series name. It will be different. From the one. So the name is very Bell FS1. Okay. So now we'll bypass this the exception last time we encountered anyway. So let us keep going on. All right, this is the value. You see, this is the value. The second one is very Bell FS1. Okay, so suppose I again click on the Bell function again. This time I choose negate. Hit the key. Similarly, we can do this line. So we kind of instantiate an object of negate operator. So OP right now is a negate operator. Oh, excuse me, we did not. I forget to. We need to do that. Otherwise, we'll have the same exception. OP does not have anything, I think. But right now, since the counter is running, so there should be no any exception. So right now, the name is what? Bell FS12. It's not good. So let me quickly override the negate operator. So again here I override title. OB override. Hit space key, and then up key highlight this property. Hit tab key twice. We'll do it by ourselves. So it's a getter. Get, return, negate. Okay, so everything's ready, I think. Maybe this time we can try Gaussian. Oh, excuse me, I need to create universe first. And then on this universe, create a Gaussian function. One, another one. Suppose I select the second one. I'll name my first one, and I select value, right? So I remove the breakpoint to let it execute it. So far it seems okay. So value Gaussian FS1. This is Gaussian FS, right? This is Gaussian, what is it? This is very Gaussian FS1. How about negate? Negate. I will kind of choose which one? Gaussian FS3. Okay. Gaussian FS3. Negate. That one. Negate Gaussian FS3. See, this is the negate. Okay. Negate one. Alright, so almost end with this scenario. Okay. So usually operator for this I have done for that for you. But how about the binary operator? The user can only select one, right? So we are not going to pick up the selection from the user right here anyway. We might need another user interface for the binary operator, what he said. Okay, I think it's also about the time we break here to let you catch up more or less. In the certain hours, probably I will talk about the event anyway. Because right now, even see for this negate, if I kind of select this Gaussian factor, right? Gaussian factor property is right here. If I change the mean, if I change the standard deviation property currently is generator 2. And then I hit the return key or move the cursor to another place, right? This has been changed, right? Gaussian F3 have changed. But how about this negate one? It's not changed at all. It's not right, right? Because this negated Gaussian function set depends on Gaussian function set. It has been changed, but I did not change accordingly. The logic is not right. 我们没有相对的变动，那是不对的。就像我刚才提到，那个 universe, if the universe, the parameter, the upper bound and lower bound has been changed, then we need to, well, they need to generate event for us anyway. If a class design is in a good shape, the class needs to investigate their data seriously and then provide all kind of event for us to subscribe. Because sometimes our object will depend on a class, right? That is the whole philosophy of object-oriented design anyway. All right, let us take a probably 10 minutes break, and then we will go through with another new stuff anyway. 好，我们休息一下再回来哈。好。To implement unary operator for this set. So the rest is that you need to complete the implementation of the other unary operator. Okay, you need to do that by yourself, and also define binary operation, which is quite similar with the unary operator. Okay, so for example, you might have binary fuzzy set operator, right? And it's almost like the unary fuzzy set operator, except that you will calculate the value, take two value, because it's a binary operator. So similarly, you can design a virtual function where you take two numbers. These two numbers will respectively, from two different two fuzzy set, right? From two fuzzy set. So a binary fuzzy set operator take two value, calculate the value back to the caller. That's it. So binary fuzzy set operator is pretty really very straightforward. You can think about that. It's from the unary operator. But the difference is that calculated value should take two arguments. They came from the two fuzzy set anyway. And how about the binary operated fuzzy set? It is similar to the unary operator. It will inherit from the fuzzy set. But how about data-wise? Right now, we just have a fuzzy set, right? You will have fuzzy set 1, fuzzy set 2, because you need a binary operated fuzzy set need two existing fuzzy set, right? You need to have two existing fuzzy set in order to generate a binary operated fuzzy set. Right? How about the operator? Well, I just employ one binary fuzzy set operator. So the constructor will take two fuzzy set anyway, take two fuzzy set object and a binary fuzzy set operator needs to be specified by prepared by the user in order to create a binary operated fuzzy set. Okay, so you can probably management the name, right, of this series. And how about the get membership function? Still the same. But instead, the operator will take two values. So the first value comes from the fuzzy set 1, the other should come from fuzzy set 2. And we will invoke a get membership function value from both objects of the fuzzy set. Anyway, so you need to do that by yourself in order to catch up the whole idea. 对吗？你的任务要把 binary 的 operated fuzzy set 做完，所以你可以 exercise union, intersection, all kind of T-norm operation on binary fuzzy set. OK， 所以你要自己 catch up 那 idea 说要把它 carry on 好。那 so far, although we just have two unary operator already, see, we still can do a lot of creation right now. All right, so let me try again. So if it is a Gaussian, okay, Gaussian function. So we have this one, right? And if I have negate operator selected, What's wrong? Select the tag， select the body set。所以 OK， 好，我就讲哈，就是说你必须要有 4 forwards because I did not select any body set yet. So you need to think about the user interface. I'm not going to let this button enabled unless the user click on the body set. Okay. So by default right now, excuse me, bear function. No, Gaussian function. So I have this Gaussian function selected, and then I can create unit operator. If user click back to the universe, this button will be disabled. 好，你要把它做好啊，不要留在那边出来就马上当啊。而后老师会教你们讲教一个你的那个操作的 video 啊，OK。universe also I kind of select Gaussian negate, right? So I have negate Gaussian right here, Gaussian negate right here. And if I specify, pay attention to that. If I select vary operation on Gaussian body set 1, this value, right? This value. How about I select this value Gaussian body set? Okay. Right now the target is is a unity operator body set. I try to apply a unity operation on the unity operator body set. Will it work? Well, you can try that anyway. So the value operator will be work on the very Gaussian body set 1. So let me try it. See, this is very Gaussian 1. Again, if I select this very Gaussian, I click expand. Okay, very probably old anyway, young or old, something like middle age. Okay, that is the whole mechanism. We kind of take advantage of object-oriented design, and then you can quickly implement all kind of operator and newly created body set. 好，有没有任何问题？你的 assignment 4, you need to complete this unity operator body set, and also create a new class for binary operated body set, including the operator, binary operator. 好，那你要 check the textbook. To implement all kind of binary operation, for example, T norm, S norm, drastic norm, a bunch of operation anyway, to make your package complete. Okay, if you are trying to implement binary operated body set, right? User need to select 2 body set, right? And also you need to check whether these 2 body sets are defined in the same universe, because only these 2 body sets defined on the same universe can apply binary operation, because we are not dealing with higher dimensions body set. So 你要确定哦 suppose right now, well, I might have another universe created, right? And within this universe, I might select a Gaussian function. Okay, so suppose right now user click a Bell FS1 and click another Gaussian FS1. They should not be used to create a binary body set. 好，一个 binary body set, binary operator body set 必须是2个 body set 必须在同一个 universe 上，你要黄笨。好 ，so then the problem is that the user interface. How can we design user interface to let the user select 2 body set? How can we do that? Well, actually you can do it by yourself, but right now I just make a very simple suggestion. All right, so these 2 parts is for unity operated. And similarly, we will have combo box for binary. So this is for binary. Oops. Excuse me. Go back. Forget it. I simply go to, you see, there is one reference here. So if I double click it, came to this, oops. I kind of erase this line and then go back to this part, inform and delete. Okay, and also we should have button, right? New binary operated body set somehow using it. But how about the targeted body set? There should be 2 targeted body set, right? So the easiest way might be here. Well, probably you can use a label. Anyway, you can use two label or two text box. It's totally up to you. Probably label will be much better because text box is basically for the user to type to type something. If I use label one, it's poor. Okay, don't just leave the label one exists there. Even those that is the label usually should use to show some service text, right? Service content. But if you check the event or label, as you can see, there's still a quick event available, right? Available. And how about the property? Wow, there's tag too. So the philosophy is that, well, I try to store the selected fuzzy set from the attribute. I make a copy right here, store in the label 1. The other fuzzy set store in label 2. So once I hit this button, then I have two selected fuzzy set ready for me. Okay, for me. And then I will create a new binary operator fuzzy set somehow, like this way. Okay. The attribute node, you need to, well, coding-wise, you need to pay attention because later on, once the binary operator fuzzy set has been selected, you need to check both fuzzy set special in the label 1 and label 2 are exactly defined on the same universe. And then you need to know, well, anyway, you need to figure it out. Somehow, probably there are some 30 jobs you need to do that, but actually you can do that, okay? Or probably one is selected from the second one. Probably you can set up a scenario that the first one should be selected, and then the second one, second fuzzy set should be directly pick up from the attribute selection anyway. 我们现在是怕的说，你现在选了两个啊。What we are afraid is that once the guy select two fuzzy set, right? But somehow the user hit the universe again. So right now the highlighted node is a universe. And once you create a binary operator fuzzy, you do not know this new node will be added to where, which universe 比较 problem. 但是写一些 code 还是可以防止这样的状况。OK， 好，那就是 binary。那大概这样，这 code 大概怎么讲啊？就 label one, for example, label one here, right? Label one, and then you need to subscribe as event, quick event right here. So the criteria is that once the user click on label one, you need to make sure the selection, whether the selection is attribute selection is a fuzzy set, right? Because you just want to store the image. So if trv main selected a node, so how can you make sure the selection is a fuzzy set? Several ways you can do that anyway. Probably the easiest way is that, well, today maybe this is the time I introduce one, because selected node, right? It's selected node. We have stored tag there, right? If trivial selected node tag is an operator or C# programming is what? Is fuzzy set. Remember that what I say is that an object or the derived class can be regarded as the object or the parent class. So I simply check whether this object stored in the tag is in fact can be regarded as a fuzzy set. In order to make a distinguish that, probably the selected node is actually the universe. So I just rule out that. If it is a fuzzy set, then we will do that. We will do such kind of thing. What we should do? Well, we're simply just label one, right? Label one text, especially into the fuzzy set name. Well, I cannot use the fuzzy set, so this is about the time. Well, it's okay. I kind of cast it. See, remember that? I've cast it into the fuzzy set because right now is what is it? So I kind of cast this tag to type what is it, and then I can access its property called title. Right? So it's simple. If the selected tag is really a what is it, then I will put a label there. Otherwise I will clean it up. Else label 1. I don't know whether you should do that or not. Probably you don't need to do that. Okay, and then to make it is meaningful for this label. Whoops. Jesus. To design label 1. Label 1. Property. Text, right? Select a fuzzy set. No. Click to a set. This is the selected fuzzy set. Anyway, in short. So this label came out here, and try to make this label different from others label. Okay, so probably what you need to do is add a big color somehow. To that user know, well, it's different, and probably for color, make it into red somehow. Okay, so user knowing that, well, accept the selected fuzzy set anyway. Similarly. So suppose right now user try to generate a binary operator for this. So initially we have for this already there. Okay. Triangle Gaussian, and this even it is divided by this. Remember that we still can do that. Okay, very Gaussian 1, create very Gaussian 1. Alright. So right now we are user try to generate a binary operator for this set. So the user need to specify two fuzzy set, right? So since right now Gaussian fuzzy set is ready, so if I click here, Gaussian fuzzy set is ready. Okay, and if the user want to change it, suppose you change it, select ready Gaussian fuzzy set, change it here, ready Gaussian fuzzy, it's okay. So let this label serve for you to let the user specify two fuzzy set, but you need to know that both fuzzy sets are defined on the set universe. Only in this case, we can create a binary operator fuzzy set. 你要自己好笨哦，我不要到时候我这边选一个，那另外我这边再选一个。You cannot let these two fuzzy sets, one is coming from universe one, the other is coming from universe. No， 你要做黄笨处理。好，那所以 two fuzzy set 你就从这边 pick up。那 pick up 说你用了一个那个 binary operator fuzzy set, then you need to create a node, right? To add it back. But sometimes, somehow, before hit the button, probably user has changed the selection into the universe. But this time you need to, for example, okay, the first and second one came from the very Gaussian one and the Gaussian one. But user might click on this universe too. And once you create binary fuzzy set, should be defined on the universe one. The node should be added to this to this tree node. So you need to somehow write a code to make sure the current solution is correctly is related to these two fuzzy set. 好，我们讲了说，这样来产生一个 two fuzzy set 有一个 node， 对不对？要加哪边不要加错，因为使用者可能你不能老是抓这个 highlighted 的那个家伙的 parent 加到这个上头，不一定哦。好，不像刚才 unit 是很明确的，你要自己去查验一下加对，是你要自己加对回来。好。所以 binary 的 operator fuzzy set 你要自己处理，那人际界面外是你要思考一下。好，那我们现在使用最笨的方式，也许有其他的方式。好 ，maybe you have another design for the user interface to accept two fuzzy set and also the universe. I don't know. The tree node you probably keep it somewhere, and then once you create a binary operator fuzzy set, you can edit the node to the correct position. Anyway, 好，你要自己处理它。好 ，so far 呢 binary operator 有没有问题？好 ，OK， 没有的话I will introduce you a new stuff called event. and a new type called delegate 哈。那解说 delegate 之前，老师用其他一个方案哈。Before introducing the delegate and the event, I like to probably let you know something in advance. So I kind of create, in order not to mix up with the project or use, I try to add another project anyway to demonstrate the new stuff for you. Okay, so C# and Windows Desktop, Win application will find. Just add it to this solution anyway. Okay, so make it the activity project. So right now we do not have anything in our simple WinForm application, right? Remember that how can we generate using the, usually we drag a button, right? Button here. And then we subscribe the event, click events, for example, double click it. So basically, I mean, what Visual Studio has done for us is that, well, Visual Studio prepared this function for you. And the Visual Studio know that a quick event, the event handler function should take two arguments. The first argument type is the object. The second type is the so-called event arguments. This is not the only place that Visual Studio do the coding for you. Another place is right here. If you click on this line. So actually, what Visual Studio has done, writing the code for is that button one dot click. What is click? It's not a property. It's an event. Okay, this is a property of button one. This is the event of button one, which look like similar, right? But it kind of use an aggregate, means an add operation. Plus it means add operation. And the Visual Studio create a new so-called event handler. It's a delegate. See, it's called delegate. It's a get delegate, and then put this function name within this constructor. So basically, Visual Studio new and delegate. This delegate name is called event handler for you, and then this handler link with your function, your button one click function. So we can programmably doing this kind of job for you. So basically, we can dynamically add a button and subscribe this event. So how can we do that programming? I will show you. So basically, each button will be created, right? And then we need to special location, and also we need to add it to the control. So that's the code. Okay, so let us come back to this one. Suppose right now this button is do what? Let me change the name to show the meaning of this button for you. So this button is create. So once this button is hit, I like to create a button dynamically. I mean programmably. So double click on it. So how can you do that? All right. So I have button button, b new button. So it's totally created instantiated by the code, not in the design phase anyway. Whoops. It's a control object, so it's a b. How about b text? Similar, okay. Location. Point. 100. Horizontally. 50 pixel vertically. And then I need to ask the form object, add this button to its controls collection. There is probably called control, CONTROLS. Controls, it's a collection property belonging to this object or the form. Add, since it's a collection, always has an add function, add B, in this way. So I can dynamically create an object or button somehow. See, once I click it, the button shows up right here. But how about the event handling function? I'd like to write some code, associated with the new button. Okay, so how can we do that? All right, so once you new an object, And then you change the property, right? And also we can do what? We can subscribe the property, excuse me, the event. See, and once the intelligence show up, not just the range, right? Not just the property, also has Thunderbolt there. So I kind of click subscribe the click event. And if you type everything, you need to know what kind of event handler, what kind of delegate that click event is associated with. It's very troublesome for you. So what you can do is that ask help from Visual Studio. So I simply type plus equal, excuse me, plus equal. And then, you see, there is a hint for you. Press tab key to let the Visual Studio add code for you, which is very similar, okay, in design phases. So I hit tab key, then apply. Oops, excuse me. Okay, that's it. This is the simplest way. So b.click plus equal b.click. So up to this point, we completed the coding, right? It's a dynamic button creation. And also, when this guy is created, once the user click on the new button, then this event handler one will show up here. So I can do that as simply as well. New UTTON is cricket. So you can dynamically subscribe an event by this way. Excuse me, that's show function. Show. Okay. So instantiate an object, and we change property. It's usually, and also we can subscribe event using the code. And Visual Studio will check the format of this this event. I mean, so-called format is that event handler function. The format of event handler function for us. All right, timer created. And once you click it, see, new button is clicked. The message came out. All right, behind this mechanism, so-called event, click is the event. And once you subscribe event, the function is prepared. Should be prepared, right? And right now is about the time probably I'll show you so-called delegate. So right now is, you see, if okay, suppose right now, well, just forget about this two button. All right, so what I'm going to do is that suppose that I have another button here. Text call F. So I have a function call F. So once this guy is clicked, this button is clicked, then the function will be invoked somehow. Okay, so I subscribe this function. This click event anyway, and then within this function I call a function. So I need to have a function ready. Void F. Nothing has been done. Simply message box show F is called. So once button hit, F is called, right? So simple. So click on this guy, the function is called. Simple. So this function call, we call this function call by the name, So every we by the name there. But if we have a delegate, suppose right now has declared DELE delegate, and I need to specify a name. Well, function take no argument somehow. It's a function name. And I think that should be delegate function void. Okay, it's almost like it's not exactly a function declaration. Okay, it's a declaration. Or well, there is delegate. The name, the identifier of the type is called function take no argument. So as you can see, this is also almost like a function declaration, right? Oh, there's a function name and a list of parameters. No, there's no any parameter special within this pair of parentheses, and this function will return nothing, void. So For the rest of the part, it's almost like a function declaration, 函数的宣告. But in front of it, if you you special a keyword called delegate, then this is a new type. Function take no argument is a new type. We call it a delegate. Type is a delegate. In fact, it is the function pointer. If you are a guy from learning C programming language from the very beginning, you probably heard that in addition to the data pointer, there's stuff called function pointer. No matter what is a function or data, actually it will be stored in the memory. If we can access the starting address, then it is called pointer. So whether pointer is a point to a data or a function does not matter. We can use this address to access that data or invoke that function. That is the whole idea. Okay. So right now we have a type ready for us to use. Function take no argument. So within our form 1, well, I will declare there is function take no argument. There is FPTR1 anyway. I call it FPTR1 somehow, but simple. So I have data called function parameter. This is a type. You just declare it, just define a type. Either way, you can move it to other outside of the class. It will be okay because by default it's internal. So it's a type. It's a type. We call it a delegate. And we have an object of this delegate. So in form 1, I can direct FPTR1 assigned with F. What is there? F is a function name. F is function name. So function name can be assigned to a function pointer on the condition that this delegate is dedicated to a function. Take no argument. Return void. If your function right here, if your function do take an argument like this one, all right? So here when we call it, we probably put an I0 there. So if you want to invoke this function, you need to supply a parameter, right? How about this delegate? This delegate is saying that, well, this function does not require any parameter. So right now, we are air camera out. F cannot assign to function pointer 1. Function pointer 1 is an object of delegate. Right? So, well, if I kind of change this, well, there's a requirement of argument. Just one argument. It's okay. So once you have a variable, it is an object or delegate. You can use this delegate to invoke indirectly, to invoke the function behind this one. So it's similar. Okay, the first one is called by name. How about the second one? FPTR1. FPTR1. Just like it is a function, simply call it. This time I use 8. So in C# programming language, you can invoke a function or call a function by its name or through a delegate. Through a delegate. Okay, through a delegate. 可以理解吗？好，那我们现在执行看看哈。So let us execute it where it's both of them should be the same. F is called. F is called twice again. Okay, that is the whole story about the delegate. So delegate actually is a function pointer. It's a new type. User can specify. All right. So let us go back to our project. I might need to spend around maybe 15 minutes. Okay. So probably we'll end up probably before 12:30. Okay. Just bear that with me. Okay. I'd like to make this introduction complete anyway. So let us go back to our project. So right now, switch back to our project. So about the time, we were, as I just mentioned that, so let me go back to the function, fuzzy function. Okay, this is fuzzy one, generic one, right? The top is the one fuzzy set. So fuzzy set do have what? Have a title, right? Title can be changed. Serial will be changed with the new name, right? And also parameter value will be instantiated in the derived class. We know that. But once the parameter has been changed, well, because a lot of guys depend on this fuzzy set, right? Unary operator fuzzy set depend on fuzzy set, right? Finally, the one you are asked to write, binary operator for this set will also depend on the for this set. So several classes will depend on for this set. And for this set to have this property. So the idea is that, well, I'm a for this set. I need to be responsible for the data that I have. If the data, for example, title has been legally changed, I need to generate an event for other guys who depend on me. 好，所以我们现在加那个 event 进去。So how can you add an event? Right now, event is almost like property. Usually it should be public. So a guy will subscribe it anyway. Public. And I think this should be the event. Event handler. So once you type an event, you need to supply a delegate. And we are not going to add our own delegate. We kind of use a standard delegate from Visual Studio. It's called event handler. Event handler. See the shooting case in purple color is a delegate. So it's a delegate. This is delegate that saying that, well, it is delegate or a function that take two arguments. The first argument is object, the second argument is event arguments. All right, so I kind of specify an event. So actually, behind the event is actually you need to specify the delegate. We call it event handling function, the type of event handling function. And I say parameter Okay, so for this set, declare a public event, so called parameter change. And since parameter change, well, parameter change right now is a property, is an event open to the public, right? And itself is actually an event handler. So actually it is a delegate. Actually itself is a delegate. So once your title has been legally changed, you need to generate this event. The generation is simple. Well, you just check the parameter whether it's none. If it's none, just execute it. All right, so here, the statement is that if parameter changed value, parameter, excuse me, what's the name? Parameter change. Okay, if this event is none, okay, an object delegate is actually a delegate object, right? Then we will execute it, PAIME, parameter value. Excuse me. Parameter changed. That parenthesis, see, object what? This, because this event is generated from this object. This object is an object. How about the event argument? We do not pass any argument to it. Actually, you can do that, but right now we don't need to do anything. So I simply will put a none to it. So what is this statement really for? Parameter change value, well, right now it's regarded as an event. But actually, as you can see, what is the event? Event will add up a new function, right? Event handling function. So if anybody subscribe this event, everybody will provide a function for me. And the function has been put in this collection. So actually, this is the event is a so-called correctional delegate. So all these functions, if they are the same with this type, I mean objects and argument, I will call it one by one. All right. So this is the point. This is the so-called event specification and the event trigger. So title, if title is legally changed, then we need to fire this event for the subscriber. Okay, that's the idea. And how about the value change? Value change. No, because for this guy, for this guy, it's what? It's a parent class. We do not deal with the real parameter value there. But later on, for example, the Gaussian membership function. Gaussian measure, you kind of define a meaningful property, right? Mean. If mean is changed, right? Parameter change. itself needed to update the series. It's okay. I mean, it's itself contain and maintain this data. But how about if a guy, another file depend on you, you need to trigger this event. Okay, so you need to do it here, trigger event. So how can you trigger event? PARAME, parameter changed. This Thunderbolt, and then again similar this. Now trigger this event. Whoops, this error came out. So okay. I should not do that because it seems that I kind of try to subtract it. So back to here. I mean, let us go back to our fuzzy set. Okay, because well, in the parent class, because this event is special within the parent class, so I can directly call it. Otherwise, I should prepare a shared function. Okay, so maybe I will use protected PR protected, which is similar to what? Similar to the update series, right? Protected void. So, well, I kind of put it here. Protected. So this function can be accessed, by the family of class, and then void. I say file. PARAMET, parameter change event. Make this function much more meaningful, and so for the developer to use it. And what we have done is that, well, copy this line. If parameter change is not equal to 0, so there is a subscriber there, then I file. I executed this function one by one anyway. Actually, use subscriber will provide their function, and then I simply execute this function one after the other for them. Now, so this series is itself, because the title is maintained. It's maintained by the fuzzy set, right? So fuzzy set, once this happens, I need to file parameter change event. That's it. We can call it. So since in the parent class we have this this function for us, so under the fuzzy set class, because parameter value has been legally changed, right? So I can call file parameter change event. Not just this center, right? Similarly, I need to file the event change parameter change event. Well, in the standard deviation. So you need to do that one by one. By yourself. For the rest of members fuzzy set, okay? Because definitely that is a parameter change, right? That's a parameter change. If another guy depends on you, then the other guy is responsibility. The other guy needs to subscribe this event. Okay, so right now, as you can see, a fuzzy set do have an event, public event, ready for the user to subscribe, called parameter change event. So let's go back to our unary operator fuzzy set. Unary operator fuzzy set right here. This is operator, not fuzzy set. Unary operator fuzzy set right here. So right now we know, well, if a guy wants to extension and object unary operator fuzzy, the user needs to surprise the target fuzzy set, right? So target fuzzy set right here. And the unary operated operator has been provided right here. So right now, fs has been passed to the unary operator fuzzy set, right? Fs assigned here, op assigned here. And then we special name we update serial. So itself is contained. But if the fuzzy set do have parameter change, because this guy depends on this fuzzy set, right? So this fuzzy set has been assigned. Right now, we need to subscribe. I think when you are at home, you need to add some comment, okay? Add as much comment as possible to let the instructor know that you really know this mechanism anyway. All right. So the fuzzy set, see the fuzzy set. Dot. See that? There is Thunderbolt there. Event. The fuzzy set has an event, public event, ready for you. Because in the scenario, the unary operator function set depend on this function set. If the function set parameter change, I need to change myself too. Okay. So right here, the function set parameter change. So programmably subscribe event. How can you do that? Type a plus, type a equal, and then hit tab key. Let the Visual Studio. So Visual Studio, knowing that, well, what type of function, event handler function of this event is, Visual Studio prepare this function skeleton for you. So I hit tab key. See, Visual Studio name this function for you. The function set parameter change. The function set parameter change. Okay, so what should I do? I mean, in unary operator function, it's very simple. Well, because the guy I depend on the parameter has been changing. So what I need to do, well, just update series, right? Because I'm a unary operator function set. If the parent has changed the parameter, I need to change my series, right? Okay, so it is not complete yet. I mean, if unary operator change, no, we are not going to do that. But for your binary operator function set, you need to subscribe this. There is a function set 1, function set 2. You need to subscribe both event or parameter change, right? 你要自己把它添加进去哈，这比较 binary 的话 ，OK。So it's right now it's self-contained right now because I'm a unary operator function set, right? I depend on this function set, and this function do have parameter change event sent to me. So if I change it, I need to subscribe. So let us properly hit it, make a breakpoint right here. So let us try it to see what will happen. Okay, universe. Select the universe. I kind of, well, what I have done, just Gaussian, right? Yeah, just Gaussian. Trigger the event. All right, so Gaussian. This is the only one I can have right now. Okay, so this is Gaussian. So based on Gaussian, I kind of select negate unary operator function set. Also what? Okay, suppose right now, you see, right now we have two function sets. One is negate one. So suppose right now I highlight the Gaussian function set. Well, can I highlight the negate function one? It's okay. If I highlight it, right? It's just title can change it. This guy has two parameters, right? So if I change the standard deviation from 0.9 into 2, okay, and I click on the other place to let this property change happen. See, this one has been, well, the file is a parameter change after series of change. Anyway, let it keep going. Let me go back to here. Remove this breakpoint. So I keep changing. If I change the file, see, both of them are changed too. 这才会同动哈，所以你 depend on 另外一个，你必须要透过所谓 parameter change 这个 event， 让 subscribe 它，让它会出不来。What if negate the function I have a concentration special value, right? Value, new operator. So these two truly depend on Gaussian function one, right? So if I come to here again, I change the mean. Changing to where? To 8. 8. Hit enter. So you can see both of them has been updated too. Gaussian is here. Gaussian, the blue one, the negate concentration. Oops, excuse me. Negate is not happened, right? Oops. Let me check it. See? This negate is okay, but how about the, let me check, okay, concentration on negate. So negate, right, so this is wrong. Okay, very negate Gaussian should be written here. So what happened? Very negate 1. What happened? It's not completed yet. So let us think a little bit back to here. Unary operator, what is it? We know that, okay, I depend on this guy. So I need to subscribe the parameter change of this guy. But how about when this guy's parameter changed, I updated myself, right? It's okay. But how about myself? Probably some other guy depend on me. Depend on another unary operator, depend on this unary operator set. But right now, I kind of update my series, okay. But I needed to trigger the event for others. All right? So it's not enough. It's just one level. So right here, I needed to trigger the event. How can you trigger the event? Simply fire parameter change event. This is the hierarchical dependency right now. Unary operator for this set. Unary operator depend on this for this set, right? So if this for this set parameter change, so I needed to update my series. But this guy is remember that the unary operator is for this set, right? But probably some other guy depend on you. So you needed to fire because it is not related to, because you do not have any parameter, right, associated with this unary operator. The parameter, the originate is from the target, from the primary factor, right? But the parameter change or the primary factor will be regarded as parameter change of yourself. So you need to fire parameter change event too. Right. Okay. So let us, by adding these lines to make the logic complete. So, for example, let me try it again. New universe. Based on this universe, we have Gaussian already there. And then this is the primary factor set, right? So we apply a negate unary operator. And then we specially negate, apply another value concentration operator on it. So this guy depends on this guy depends on this guy. I mean hierarchically. Okay. All right, so once the original parameter of the Gaussian function set, if I change the standard deviation to 1, okay, this mislead, and then I hit return or move to another cursor. The first lead dependent guy has been changed. The second lead dependent one also changed too. So only in this way they are consistent. Oh, all right. So probably I think that will be, well, it's much faster than I expect. So is there any other question about this kind of mechanism? So today we kind of add up some new derived class unary operator factor set, create new unary operator classes. So later on you simply step on this implementation. You can do the binary operator by yourself and learn about the mechanism of event firing anyway. So back to the factor set. It's very simple. We define the event, so-called parameter change. Probably you can specify two. The other one should be dedicated to the title, and it's just called title change. And to separate the title from other parameters, so it's okay to you. To make the event much more specifically. But right now, well, we kind of mingle everything together. So parameter change, including the parameter value change and also the title change. So make it there. And this time we kind of prepare a shared function called fire parameter change event in case the developers need to fire this event for the subscriber anyway. Okay, so the idea is that what is the event? Event, okay, you just name an event name, right? This is the event name of this class. And the event itself is actually a delegate. And delegate right now we did not define our delegate. We simply use a delegate, a variable on the dynamic framework. The name is called event handler, so it's a delegate. This delegate associated with the function take two arguments. The first one again is the type is the object. The second one is the event argument. Anyway, just like a quick event. It's very simple event handler function. So we declare this as an event. So later on, any user can subscribe this parameter change event. And Visual Studio will prevent the event handler function because Visual Studio knowing that event handler take two arguments. The first one is object, the second one is event argument, same way. There. And since we have a parameter, change the event, right? So within your scope, if a data relating to the parameter, you need to fire this event. So-called fire is that if anyone subscribe this event, the user supplier function pointer will be put into the parameter. So parameters change. This event is actually a delegate. So we simply invoke those functions indirectly through this delegate. We are not call this function by name. We call this function through the delegate. Okay, that is the whole idea about how the mechanism of so-called event file and event subscription, such kind of thing. OK， 可以吗？好，那我们这边就是 file set 就有一个 event， 那谁 depend on 它？那接下来你要做什么？I think to make it complete is that what I mentioned currently, I think you need to do it by somehow by yourself. For example, right now we have a universe, right? And we might specify a Gaussian function on this universe. See, what is the problem? If, because this Gaussian function depends on what? Depends on this universe. If I change the upper bound into 100, what happened? Nothing happened. Your Gaussian function still measured the line up to 40. It is not complete. So you need to go back and think about the dependence between the function set and the universe to make your class complete. What I'm saying is that you need to define an event in the universe because Gaussian function depend on universe. So similarly, you need to do what? You need to upgrade your code by going to the universe here. Okay, this is the universe. Think about your lower bound, upper bound. If lower bound legally changed, if upper bound legally changed, you should file the event. So right here, you need to add. Probably you like to separate this event. I mean, separately. So probably you will add UPPE upper bound event, upper bound changed, CHANGED, or lower bound changed event. Or probably simply add PARAMET, parameter changed event. Up to you. So probably, well, usually this is similar to the problem, public event. And I suggest that you still use this first, the simplest called event handler in public event handler. See, this is a delegate and is defined in the data frame. So suppose I simply call parameter changed. Okay. All right. So what's title has been changed? Well, probably is not really dependent on the title anyway. But definitely, a fuzzy set definition will depend on your low bound. So in this case, if low bound has been, you need to file. How can you file? If I have a parameter, so-called parameter changed, what you need to do is that if parameter change none equal none, we only execute it once you run. You just invoke those functions. You see, it's actual function. Sender always this object, and we do not supply anything, so it's really none. So similarly, once upper bound has been changed, you file, just call this function. Maybe you don't need to prevent these two statements as a function, and you can just directly in the program and with a minor change. So right now, our universe, you see, our universe do have event specified. you should subscribe the event in order to make sure your fuzzy set depend on the universe completely. So go back to the fuzzy set, right? What is it right here? And who take care about this instantiation? The parent constructor, right? So universe assigned to here. So SMS right here. Subscribe. Subscribe. P-A-R-A-M-E-T, changed event from the universe. So what is, well, programming wise, you see the universe, see, the universe dot, right? See, there is a thunderbolt right there. Just subscribe it. How can you subscribe it? Once IntelliSense is highlighted, you can hit tab. Plus equal. Tab key. All right, right here. Well, I think you guys you can type it by yourself, so it's okay. So right now, and what should you do? Once the parameter universe has been changed, then what should I do? Well, you are the fuzzy set, right? Well, only update the series point. Update series, right? So it's always related to this point. But right now, take a look at the universe. Only low bound fire this parameter change, right? Let me set a breakpoint, see what's going on here, all right? This is the low bound change event, right? So start from this line. So let us go back. We can trace the event handling mechanism anyway. Universe right here. All right, so I have doesn't matter Gaussian defined on there. So I click on the universe. A value probably came out here. So right now this time, I change the low bound into minus 40. Oh, excuse me, minus 50. Enter. All right, you file. You kind of change the property, right? Low bound property has been changed. New value here, minus 50, right? Okay, it's smaller than the maximum value. It's okay. So the guarding condition passed. Right now, minimize. Originally 0. Right now, minimize. I have to change to minus 50. Right? Increment. Well, it's updated for 100 pounds. I don't know number point 99 point. All right. You see, we have so move your cursor to this so-called event, parameter change event. See, it is non. There is method. There's a method associated with it because you will find it set to add that function to this one. So it is now. So we are about to execute the linked event handling function, right? So we are about to execute this time. Let me hit F11 key. All right. So we are about to execute it. Hit 11. Come to where? Come to your fuzzy set right here. You see, fuzzy set. If the universe parameter change event fire, then go to this function. I cannot add up this function. So came to here. So actually, so that the CPU invoke your update series. So your data will be updated from minus 50 up to 50. So let's see it. 哇，I cannot see it， 因为重叠在一起看不出来，那怎么办？好吧，我们很快来确定一下好了 ，universe because it's kind of overlap with the axis. So let me make sure it happened. Okay, so we can here. Manually change anyway. I manually change the chart area. No way, because chart area is chart area is instantiated in the universe. So only thing I can do is here. Once the universe instantiate right here, right? See, I need to do it through the code. The area that access. See, if you have access. You have access y, minimum, equal minus 0.1. So universe, right here, and Gaussian fuzzy set. Change a little bit about the Gaussian fuzzy set, make the standard deviation property 2. Alright, so 0 is right here. And then if a guy click on the universe, change the lower bound, because right now lower bound is in fact. So minus 50, enter. See, fire this the code. So parameter change. The event is fired. So see, right now it has been extended. How about if I keep changing in 100? It's okay. All right. So make sure everything is so it's a kind of chain reaction. Okay. If an object depends on the others, and then definitely you need to once you design a class, you need to design it thoroughly. Let's see. Is there any guy you depend on, and if those guys do provide the parameter to provide event, you need to subscribe it. So sometimes you need to think in another way. Probably some other guy later on will depend on you, so you need to prepare what kind of event to the subscriber. I mean, subscribe anyway. 所以让他们一切完备。Okay, I think this is about the end of this instruction. So we kind of introduced a lot of things. You need to start your assignment 4 as soon as possible. Okay. Otherwise, probably you might stuck on somewhere anyway. So far, probably we're almost done with so-called object-oriented technique study anyway. What's left probably just the upload it. Probably in the next assignment I will show you how to do that. Okay, is there any question?